Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. So we talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Roche Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our video. The NFL Combine's been going on for the past few days, and some players have performed really well at the Combine, whereas other players have performed poorly. But wide receiver out of Texas, Xavier Worthy, might have had the best NFL Combine of them all because he broke a record in the 40-yard dash that might end up propelling him to be a first-round pick in the NFL draft. I'm going to break down Xavier Worthy's 40-yard dash performance and whether I believe that could propel him to be a first-round pick in the 2024 NFL draft. Plus, I'm going to address the rumor swirling around that Xavier Worthy might be faster than Usain Bolt. Is that true? Let's find out. Now, Xavier Worthy is a really talented wide receiver. He had 3 very successful seasons at the Texas Longhorns, but he broke onto the scene as a freshman. It wasn't one of those deals where it took Xavier Worthy a few seasons to really get going as a player, and by the time he was a junior or a senior, he was one of the best receivers in college football. He was that good as a freshman, having 12 receiving touchdowns and 981 yards in his freshman year, and a lot of people thought that Xavier Worthy was going to end up being possibly a top 5 pick in the NFL draft once he was eligible, but his next 2 seasons weren't as good. As a sophomore, he had 760 receiving yards and 9 receiving touchdowns, which was a step back from his freshman year. And then this past season in 2023, he had 1,014 receiving yards, which was more than he had as a freshman, but he only had 5 receiving touchdowns. Now, maybe that was because Quinn Ewers did not target Xavier Worthy enough, especially down in the red zone. And Quinn Ewers, a lot of people are saying that he needs to improve as a quarterback overall, so maybe that limited Xavier Worthy. A lot of other programs wanted Xavier Worthy as well, but he decided to stay at Texas. He did have a lot of success, suffered a couple minor injuries with the Longhorns, but overall was able to stay fairly healthy outside of a broken hand and a slight ankle injury. But Xavier Worthy is a guy that I do believe a lot of people have forgotten about, but they have not forgotten about him anymore because he broke the record in the NFL Combine for the fastest 40-yard dash ever. Let's take a quick look at how fast Xavier Worthy was. Now, this is his 40-yard dash time. He did it in 4.21 seconds, which is quicker than any other wide receiver in NFL history in the Combine. It shows right there that he did it in 4.22 seconds, but he did do it in 4.21. It was a little bit quicker than that. And the previous record holder for the 40-yard dash was wide receiver John Ross. He actually ran a 4.22, just a little bit slower than wide receiver Xavier Worthy. And John Ross was a guy that a lot of people were high on coming out of college, but he had 1 year where he was injured, and then he broke onto the scene in his 3rd year of playing college football. So it was like the opposite of Xavier Worthy, where it took John Ross a lot more time to have success, but he was only a 5'10 receiver as well, and then he just never really got going in the NFL. He had his moments, but unfortunately for John Ross, he's no longer in the NFL right now. He's a free agent. Who knows if he'll be able to play again? But the thing that Xavier Worthy has over John Ross is he's never had a severe injury. Plus, Xavier Worthy's 6'1", and that's what makes this even more impressive. Xavier Worthy ran a faster 40-yard dash time in the NFL Combine than John Ross at 3 inches taller. Now, I know that when you're taller, your leg stride is further, so with a longer stride, hypothetically, it should make you run faster, but sometimes when you're shorter, your body's just so low to the ground and you're compacted. That's why you're able to run so fast like an Allen Iverson in the NBA. But I do believe that Xavier Worthy, being the size that he is at 6'1", and him being on the smaller side weight-wise, is the perfect combination for him to have elite speed. But a lot of people are saying, is Xavier Worthy faster than Usain Bolt? Because Usain Bolt ran a 4.22 in 2019, but the thing that's so funny about that is that Usain Bolt was already older. He was already retired from running track, and he was in sweatpants and flat-soled shoes, as this guy tweeted out. So this is no comparison at all. Usain Bolt is a faster human being than Xavier Worthy, but I do believe that it's funny that people were saying that Xavier Worthy was faster than Usain Bolt just because he ran a faster 40-yard dash. But trust me, in his prime, Usain Bolt, he was definitely a lot faster than Xavier Worthy, but that was still something that was funny nonetheless that caught my attention. But Xavier Worthy should be proud of himself for breaking the 40-yard dash record in the NFL Combine. And another thing that's so important for Xavier Worthy is that he didn't get injured doing it, because John Ross, who I previously mentioned, he got hurt when he ran that 4.22 4.22. He pulled both of his calf muscles after he ran a 4.22 in the 40-yard dash a few years ago, and that also hurt his NFL career because that was something that took him a long time to recover from, and he never really fully recovered. So Xavier Worthy was healthy while doing it, and he's in his prime, unlike Usain Bolt, but still, Xavier Worthy should be considered a first-round pick, in my opinion, because right now, he is currently, according to the ESPN NFL mock draft, is ranked at number 42 overall to be selected in the 2024 NFL draft. He's behind other receivers right now, like Keon Coleman out of Florida State. He's also behind Lab McConkey out of Georgia and Xavier Legette out of South Carolina. Those are really good wide receivers. And obviously, you've got the guys at the top like Marvin Harrison Jr., Roma Dunze, and Malik Neighbors that are going to be taken probably within the top 10 picks of the NFL draft. And those guys should go first. But because of the fact Xavier Worthy overall has been a healthy receiver, he's got decent size at 6'1", and the fact that he broke the record for the 40-yard dash, had such a great combine overall, he should be a first-round pick, bar none. He should be a top 25 to 30 pick at least in the NFL draft. I know it's tough to take too many players of one position, but I know there's enough teams in the NFL that could use a speedster at wide receiver, and Xavier Worthy's not just a guy that's really fast, like a John Ross when he was in college, or a Devin Hester that was a kick returner. You have a guy like Xavier Worthy that's also able to run deep routes down the field, kind of like Tyreek Hill can, but I believe Xavier Worthy's more of a down-the-field threat than a guy like Tyreek Hill. And Xavier Worthy did not get to show that off enough at the Texas Longhorns. I'm not saying that Texas underutilized him. He had success, but Xavier Worthy probably should have been a plus 1,000-yard wide receiver in every single one of his seasons at Texas. A lot of times he was forgotten about. He's a very talented player that, because he was underutilized a bit at Texas and he had a couple of minor injuries, that's why he slid down to the second round. But Xavier Worthy is a clear first-round talent, and what he did in the NFL Combine was very impressive. It wasn't as impressive as Usain Bolt, no matter what people say, but still it was very impressive overall. He has the record, and I believe that as long as Xavier Worthy can stay healthy and he can continue to prove that he has great route running ability plus that elite speed, some team is going to pick up Xavier Worthy in the first round. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below about Xavier Worthy's 40-yard dash time and how impressive that it was in the NFL Combine, and whether you are a believer that he is faster than Usain Bolt or not, and if you think that Xavier Worthy should be a first-round pick in this year's NFL draft or not. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I'll see you next time.